What's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And we just finished up an amazing mastermind weekend. I'm back in the saddle here. And, something that we say quite often, if, a construction worker can do it, anybody can. If, stay-at-home mom can do it, anybody can. Well, today, Shaun, he's an oil worker, and if you read the title, if an oil worker can do it, anybody can. Let's hear his story. Shaun Smith, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. I'm fantastic. Where are you calling in from?
I'm actually from, Claremore, Oklahoma,
Uh-huh.
and I'm actually at work. I actually had to take my lunch break because I just, I don't have any days off. So
Mhm.
it's one of those deals that, gotta do what you gotta do. And I was excited to be on here.
Yeah, wow, that's cool. And I would assume that not having any days off somehow ties into why you're building a business on the side online. Is that right?
Yes, that and, more family time, because
Yeah.
it's just the world's coming to a crazy deal going on, and there's a lot of people struggling out there, and I was one of them.
hmm So tell us about that. Tell us how you found Legendary.
Uh, I was actually just scrolling through TikTok, and I came across, Brian Brewer and all the ones that you have on your mastermind, this recent mastermind,
hmm
and it just I was like, man, I don't know if I can I don't know if I can do this because, I have no computer skills whatsoever. I
hmm
mean, I look dumb when it comes to looking at a computer screen.
hmm
And for me to come out of my shell and do, you know, the things that I'm doing now, even my wife and kids laugh because they've never seen me break out of my shell like that. And to have the opportunity to have financial freedom, that is something that just it blew my mind, and that's why it kind of led me to that, and that's where I ended up at was Legendary. I mean, that is just after going through the 15-day challenge, it was. I mean, there's a lot of information in that 15 days. I
hmm
mean, it's actually more than you can actually handle, really,
hmm
at start.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I always tell people it's better to be overwhelmed than underwhelmed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, people are always complaining about being overwhelmed, and it's like, well, have you ever considered the opposite of overwhelm? It's underwhelm. It means you're
Yeah.
not very impressed with what you're doing, and you're not being stretched. So it sounds like you are being stretched a little bit. You're using new muscles. You're trying new things. Even the family's looking at you. It sounds like they're supportive, but they're just shocked. What is it like for you to work some of these new muscles? And I can relate to that coming from construction. For some of these folks who are listening, who are feeling like they can't do it because they're working muscles that have never been worked before, and it's going to take some time to build them up. How has that been like for you?
Yeah. You know, just putting my face out there on, social media is a big deal for me because I'm used to just being hands on, being the grunt work guy out there in the field or, working on equipment, stuff like that. And
Mm,
to step out of my comfort zone and make videos and tell people, kind of share my story, you get a ton of people that can relate to you. And I didn't realize that whenever I first started. I was just thinking, I've tried so many get rich quick schemes, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I was like, I'm gonna try, and my wife, she's like, it can't hurt. I mean, it's only $7. You might as well just go ahead and do it. And within a month's time, it was like I got this email from you guys saying that to be on Wake Up Legendary, and I'm like, this is it just blew my mind. I was so excited, and I was like, I I can't fathom how much I appreciate everything that Legendary's done for me,
mm,
because whenever that high ticket commission come in, and my wife, I was like, I showed her, I was like, am I reading this right? Am I, is this just a joke? And she's like, oh my gosh, this is actually real, and then the kids were like, you just made a TikTok and this is what you got. I'm like, no, it's not that simple, but yeah, it's like that, and they're like, wow. And then they started getting supportive with me, so it's crazy how just one video can change your whole life. Like I
Yeah.
woke up that morning and had literally like 3,000 followers overnight. And
Yeah.
then I had so many comments, I was getting overwhelmed. And my mentor was like, just calm down, take a breath, work, just go through it, take your time, every couple hours, do a few and comment and, help people. And it's just been uh, uphill ever since then. I've just been like crazy going up to the top of this mountain. It's insane.
Wow. Well, you just dropped a major nugget, and I'm not sure if everybody, you dropped a few, and I'm really, your story is very inspiring, and just the way that you tell it is very inspiring because it's so real and it's so human. And I think that's exactly what you were talking about just a moment ago, where you were like, I can't believe that so many people can relate. It's the more real you are, the more down to earth, the more just average, normal of a life that you've lived, at least that you're living when you're getting started. It's one of the reasons why I just sit at the same desk every day and aren't out trying to be Mr. Lamborghini, Mr. all this and that, is because even if I do have some of those things, even if I can afford some of those things, they're not what the majority of people can relate to anyway. So it really does me no good to get on camera and flash them all up and down, because I mean, people just end up looking at you more skeptically, that maybe they're rented, or maybe they're not yours, or maybe you're somehow just trying to use them as a way to pull the old banana in the tailpipe. Anyways, are you starting to see that now? Whereas maybe in the beginning you looked at, well, I'm just an average person who's worked in an oil field, so I could never do that. Are you starting to look at some of those things that you once looked at struggles as struggles now as strengths? Like, hey, people are relating to me because I am keeping it real, because I am probably pretty close to a lot of the challenges that they're all facing as well.
Yeah, I fell into that same trap that you was talking about with, people promoting their lifestyle and everything and all this glamour and everything. I'm like, man, I just wish I could have that. And then, you know, Legendary didn't have all that. They just had you know, they're telling it like it is. And my mentor, he was like, that's what you need to be, is real. And for me to be as real as it gets, and you can see in my or hear in my accent, I'm pretty country redneck type person, so for me to be on TikTok and explaining myself, it was hard at start, but then now it's getting to a point where it's just second nature to me. It's becoming really easy for me now.
And how long has that taken?
As far as me doing the stuff on
Well, just
TikTok,
you getting comfortable, just that time, just the time in which you've gone to go from where it was really difficult to where it's become second nature.
it's going in my second, almost third month. So I mean, it happened quick.
Yeah.
But as far as getting comfortable, I'm still not comfortable in some things, there's some things
Yeah.
I won't do, and I
Right.
don't, you got to open up to people. And a lot of people want to see that you open it up. And for me, I'm the soft spoken type person. If I start talking real, and I get emotional and I start getting teary eyed and stuff, because I'm like, this is me. So
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to point out that that timeline, man, of you, going from being real uncomfortable to it being like second nature was just a few short 60 to 90 days. I mean, that's really a that's really a short period of time in the grand scheme of things to work at something, to develop a skill that can provide you freedom,
Yeah.
and really communicating with people online, especially where we're going. I mean, for God's sakes, metaverse and all this, like, I don't know what all this shit means. I don't know where exactly it's all going, but what I do know is where we're at right now, to simply be able to have a conversation with somebody on camera, or even easier, right? Because what we're doing right now is live, and I'd say this is one of the more difficult things to do. You're just recording a video, and you're speaking to the camera, and you have a chance to do it over. But going from totally new and awkward and uncomfortable, and it being 50th nature, to it now becoming second nature, being able to do that in 60 to 90 days. I guess I'd like to pose it to everybody who's listening, to, like, do you have 60 to 90 days to develop a skill that could give you freedom for the rest of your living life, and help you build a business that you could then pass on even to future generations, just like you were talking about with your kids? Them now, what sort of future do you think you're opening up for your children, by showing them that an oil field worker, that's not the only path for them?
That was my main focus was, I was scared to let myself down and let my kids and my wife down, because that was one of those
Right.
deals that, it was either make it or break it. And she said, just get on it and do it. You can do it, and just the
Hmm.
encouragement from them kept me going. And then
Wow.
whenever they seen, what was going on, they were like, they were like, man, can I do that? And I'm like, well, you're still a little young, but you can do it eventually. And they're all on board with that, which they do TikTok and everything and all kinds
Right.
of computer stuff. So they're really good at it. And I just tell them all the time, that my struggles, you don't have to do that if you learn the right skills and, set yourself up. And I said, that's the only thing I'm trying to do, is to show you guys that somebody that's out here working their butt off every single day can still come home and do this
Yeah.
line of work.
Wow. What a powerful demonstration, example. I mean, the other thing I wanted to point, what are you smiling about? What's coming up for you?
Oh, yeah, I'm just excited for everything. I was so nervous about getting on here. I couldn't even sleep last night, and I was just oof. It was just
Yeah.
nerve wracking. And like you said, the live deal is even more nerve wracking than just posting a video.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's not so bad. You get
No,
out. It's to me, it's all about framing. And I told the story at the mastermind this weekend. There's a lady who's a public speaker, and every time she saw a microphone and knew that she was about ready to go on stage, she'd get all sweaty and knots in her stomach, and that's how she knew she was going to have a breakdown. And then you go over here and you interview a guy like Bono, the lead singer of U2, and before he got on stage, saw a microphone, he'd get all sweaty, knots in his stomach, and that's how I knew he was alive and getting ready to crush it. It's the same scenario, and it's just all about sometimes how we look at it and how we choose to look at some of the symptoms that we're having. Some of this nervousness, some of this, sweatiness, some of this knots in the stomach is just letting me know that, I'm alive. I'm getting ready to rock this. If I had no feelings, maybe I might need to check my pulse. And I think this
yeah,
business is a lot of those things. It's a lot of those coming up against things that are new, that are going to make us nervous, and how we choose to perceive those feelings, those normal human feelings, that fear, that insecurity, even that imposter syndrome. You don't think that that greats and successful people all across the timeline of humans have, at when they were new, felt like, that they didn't belong in the room of the greats. You know what I mean? Like we've all had these imposter syndromes. We've all felt like, do I really deserve to be this? Am I really qualified to speak right now? Whether it's on your TikTok about marketing or about parenting or whatever your niche is, or whether it's about, you're a brand new attorney at a law firm and it's your time to introduce yourself or your time to speak up at the first meeting. I'm sure you felt like that at some points on the oil field. You got all those legends out there who've been there for 30, 40 years. Here you're the new guy. There was probably some imposter syndrome at the beginning. There was probably a little bit of newbie insecurity and stuff. And it's just that I think with our business online, it's an optional thing. We make it optional. So we let that push us back into quitting or stopping. Whereas, you said this a few moments ago, that you had a different mindset. It was this now or never. Is that a mindset that you had that you feel was helpful? And could you explain that a little bit more? Because you do still have a job. You do still have another source of income that you could say, oh, well, I got another source of income. I don't really have to do this. But somehow you positioned it in your head with your business that you don't have a plan B. How do you see that? How did you see that gave you that ability to keep going?
It's one of those deals that I've always had the kind of a mindset of, if I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it regardless. If I fail 15, 20, 30 times, I'm going to make it happen one way or another. And I've put that in place with a lot of other, get rich quick schemes. And, I've failed and I've tried again and failed and tried again, and that's what my grandma used to do. So it was one of those deals that it kind of runs in the family, that you follow into these schemes and stuff. And whenever I got onto Legendary, it was like, everything just started coming together, and all that knowledge in the 15-day challenge and all the training and stuff, it was overwhelming. But I was like, I got to figure this out. And, having a mentor that was helping me put those pieces together, that because I'm more of a hands-on person. So if I can't do hands-on, then I don't learn as quickly, and that's probably most generally anybody out there, a lot of them like to do hands-on. And that was my main focus, was, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to put 110% in it, and that's all I'm going to do. And I watched countless YouTube videos and Googled things and everything imaginable to find out everything I could possibly find out before I even got into Legendary, because I wanted to make sure I had a plan to push this thing through the roof.
I got you. Well, the only thing I would say to anybody who's listening, who's brand new, is maybe save yourself a little bit of time of Googling and thinking you're going to figure everything out before you get started, because you're going to come in and you're going to find that if you just take it one step at a time and you figure things out as they come up, it's a lot easier than trying to figure everything out or think that you figured everything out before you get started. And I think that ends up holding a lot of people back. You're lucky that you continued and followed through with it, because the majority of the rabbit holes that people go down into on YouTube and Google actually keep them in a cycle of excited and then overwhelm and then self-sabotage and then do it all over again. So just know that, the truth is there's enough people in this community that if you need additional help, you need insights, you need somebody to help you, anybody can be a mentor to you at any time. And that's what I think one of the things that people get. For me, let me explain to you how I use mentors. Shaun, you could be my mentor today, because I need help with how to make a video go more viral because I've been posted on TikTok, and I just, I need to figure out what can I do to make it go viral. I could reach out to you and you could mentor me in this moment. And sometimes I have multiple mentors in a day, and I think this is also one of the things that holds people back, is they think that they need, they hear folks talking on these shows and they think that I need my situation to look exactly like that. And stay flexible, folks, as you're listening. Take the meat, leave the bones. Know that your story, as much as your story here that you're telling, is inspirational and just amazing, and you should be so proud. Your story is not going to look like the next guy's. It's going to look a little bit different. And there's some things that people can do that I'm sure you wish you knew at the beginning that you might do a little bit differently. So speak to your brand new day one self, and knowing what you know now, what is something that you would have done differently?
I definitely the researching. I wouldn't have waited as long as I did to try to get to the point where I'm at now. I would have went ahead and just went through the challenge and did the research through that instead of, because like you said, the YouTube and everything will take you down paths that will hold you down, they'll give you that up to that point and then stop, you know.
Yeah.
And whenever I had that one viral video, I was talking about single mothers and stuff like that. And it was a single mother said, "Hey, you're the first person that's ever explained this to me correctly." And I'm like, I didn't know I did it correctly. I just did it. And that right there blew up all over TikTok. And to speak of the Megan and Ryan, they're the ones that commented on my deal. And I'm like, I got so excited because I was like, and I thought they were famous. That's how it was. Because I was like, oh my gosh, they comment. They say, good job. If you ever need any help, just let me know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's actually people out here that I see making all kinds of money that are willing to help me. And I'm like, I'm not anybody special, and that's what changed a lot of my mindset to go with, you don't have to have a lot of knowledge. You just have to know the right things to tell people that help them get through the process that they're trying to get through, because everybody's struggle is different. And I could speak the truth every single day, but somebody's going to say, out of all that, they're going to find and pick and everything, find that one thing that just really sparked their interest and was like, wow, that person I actually relate to.
Yeah. So true, brother. So true. Well, listen, I want to leave you a little time to actually, eat your lunch. So, I thank you so much, man, for, being willing to carve out time on your lunch break to chat with me and with us. And congratulations on your success. Congratulations on the beginning of your journey. And stay legendary, brother. Keep up the fantastic work. Tell the family I said hello. Okay.
I sure will. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome, Shaun. You're welcome. Keep it up, buddy, and come back and keep us posted here in a few months. All right.
I will. Thank you.
All right, Shaun. Talk to you later, buddy.
All right. See ya.
All right, you can go follow Shaun at Step Above Affiliate. He's on TikTok and Instagram. That's his handle profile, Step Above Affiliate. You can find him at Step Above Affiliate. All right, my friends, back in the saddle, back to business as usual. Just had a fantastic mastermind in Orlando with, as Shaun mentioned, Brian Brew was there, Megan and Ryan Hobbs, Austin Becker. We had Sarah Ravel there. We had Andre Andre Y. His last name always is a challenge for me, but he's been kicking tail. Yeah, we had just an amazing group. We had a fantastic time, and there's different levels for you to interact with us, whether it's just watching the show every day, obviously going through the challenge, going through some of our training, and getting on live coaching calls, or coming to a mastermind. That we just want to work with you. We don't want to sell you something and then go hide, which is what I see so often happening on the internet. So we want to work with you. We want to support you. And there's so many people in this community who are here to help, who are here to support, and who are here to kind of lift you up as you run into both challenges, but also all your successes to celebrate with you. So get out of here. Have a legendary day. We'll see you back here for another episode tomorrow. Go do something great. Go be great. Be legendary. Peace.